And, of course, a calm day inside U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Today we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap between the Dallas Cowboys and the Minnesota Vikings. Season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. Dak going to start out going to the air. Pass complete to Jalen Tolbert. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 19 yards right off the bat. And a quick first down.
Every now and then I can speak from experience because I do know as a defender it is awfully hard to stay with your man on these crossing routes because even if you don't get picked, there's a danger of being picked either by one of their receivers or maybe by your own defender. And on that play, that worked quite well.
And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead him to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity. And that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week. And right now, we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Going to run again here with Pollard. And they go backwards here. Losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Prescott on 3rd and 2. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he will have a Cowboys first down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Prescott. He'll get this out wide here to Elliott. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game. And you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Trying to run forward with Pollard. And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. Give them 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys are on the board first here this afternoon. Well, these guys scored touchdown after touchdown in that win a week ago. So how do they come out this week? Same way. They've got that momentum going, a touchdown on the opening drive.
I think it's safe to say that they're in a groove, isn't it? I mean, a lot of times we've seen where teams have scored a ton of points the week before. The very next week struggle to score almost as if they used it all up. Not in this case. This group appears locked in.
We're going to have to make some adjustments if you're on the other side of that football. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, this defense for the Cowboys, they played extremely well last week in that win over Green Bay.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one. But 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 17 yards, 1st down, Vikings. Throwing is Cousins. Completes it to the fullback, Ham.
And they're going to get this up to midfield. The Vikings at 2-7 now on the year, and they come in the midst of a pretty bad stretch here. Losers of 5 straight.
And far be it from me to go ahead and go gloom and doom, right? If they fall down 7-0, 14-0, all of a sudden the cycle starts all over again. So the best way out of this for them, they need something to happen positive early in this game. That's a great way to help break this losing skid.
Cousins gives way to Cook. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
First carry here for Kene Nwangu.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Well, that's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working, but how about his vision to see where the play was going? Crashed down inside and tackled him for a loss.
Now on 2nd and 13, Cousins.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Micah Parsons. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
The start of this game shaping up nicely on that visiting sideline.
Yeah, how about that? You get your points on the opening drive. Then you get a big sack there on 3rd down, and you make the home crowd go,
There's a hush indeed. And that is very well done there, as this will be marked out of bounds at the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
He was unable to shake free there. They'll cover him for a loss of a yard. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Backed up now from their own 4 as they come up 2nd down. They'll run left with Pollard. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Play action now, Prescott. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety.
The goal here is about getting any kind of positive yardage in this spot, because you don't care who, you don't care how. You just want to try and buy a little space and get away from your own end zone. But in this spot, the defense was all over that play and equally motivated to stick them with a safety.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone.
On 2nd and 9, Cousins. That's to Cook out of the backfield. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and 13.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there. Got a nice interception and set up their offense in great shape.
This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. Touchdown, Cowboys! Alexander Mattison, his first touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Moore, up and good. And it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way, because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete, and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, and still in the first half here, a long way to go. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Leighton Vander Esch. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football.
Well, those have been a problem for them all season, but never quite as much as they have in these last few minutes. Let's count it up now. A pair of picks on his team's last 2 drives and double-digit interceptions this season. I don't care if you're the best in the game or an undrafted rookie. You've got to take better care of the football, or you're going to cost your team chances.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
They run straight ahead here with Pollard. And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. 43 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Prescott to throw it. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Marr now to add the extra point. And that one makes this a 19-point game.
Makes the score Cowboys 21, Vikings 2.
The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Play action now. Cousins. And that is incomplete.
Well, obviously searching for their first touchdown this game, partner. And that quick 3 and out, that's not going to achieve that at all. Give victory to the secondary there. They brought out tight coverage on that 3rd down snap.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright.
This is taken around the 12. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown On their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense, they were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Little pitch play, toss play. Allows the running back to get some vision and some big guys to get out in front. This time they did it to the right side.
Yeah, went to the right side. Is there a preference, right or left, for a lot of these guys that run the ball at this level?
I know in the good old days, most teams were constructed to run to the right side. I can't tell you exactly why. That was the power side. The left side was what they used to call the quick side. But in this case, the power won.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, sometimes the defense just beats you. Great coverage from the secondary, all of them in the proper position. So instead of trying to throw into tight coverage, he found a way to throw it away and come back and try again the next down.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing, Prescott gonna take a shot for Gallup. Well, the defense loses him. It's complete. Touchdown, Cowboys. 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott.
And the Cowboys continue to pull away here this first half.
Extra point by Moore, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Off the play fake, Cousins.
A throw on the money to Rager. And they will get him down, but not before he gets very good yardage there, as that will lead us right into the 2-minute warning.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's got room. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings.
A pretty well-executed run there at Thomas yesterday, Charles. They were hoping to get everybody in sync. The line, the backs, and everybody looked in sync on that play.
They were in sync, and the field tilted. And that's where we get the term running downhill, because when you've got that kind of momentum and everyone's doing it properly as you just described, it does feel like they are coming from downhill to you as a defender, and that is really hard to stop.
And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, this blowout's going to get bigger and bigger before the final gun.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy first down.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. Prescott now. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks.
So the first thing that crossed my mind is why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely. And from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
Following the interception, Cousins lets it fly for Thielen. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
Here we go. They go play action. Cousins. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
And they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first two throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
On 3rd down, Cousins. He's got him in, complete. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Down several scores and playing behind the chains is not the way to have success in this one. Right now, for the offensive line, your big concern, protecting your quarterback and give him a chance to try and throw something downfield to pick up the needed yardage.
Now with 5 seconds left, not really enough time to run another play and then stop it. So on comes the field goal unit. The kick by Joseph is good, and that'll get the deficit back to 16. So, Charles, they get to their first turnover of the game, and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. By no means certainly are they out of this contest. 2-score game start of the 3rd quarter, but you feel like if they don't get points and then they give up points, then it can become a slippery slope. This feels like an important possession.
Yeah, and that slope becomes even more slick if you come away empty-handed on this drive, because then you give them a chance to extend their lead. You need some kind of points here, even if it's just a field goal. It's what I call one of those calming drives, trying to slow things down.
That his first catch so far. They held him out of bounds, but he's got a first down there.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
It was Osa Odighizuwa on the tackle.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Here's a quick throw to Thielen. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
A gain of 2. Brings up 3rd and 7.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Cousins. Got an open man finding Jefferson. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 31-yard line. A gain of 22. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 down at the 31. Cousins. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback there for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another 1st down.
And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. To throw, Cousins. Smith catches left side. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. They'll try the middle with Cook. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and it's just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
Play fake. Cousins. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
Joseph's got it, and they will cut the lead down to 13. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing, all right? They didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need him to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
Taken at the 15, a short kick. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Prescott looks to throw on first. Pass complete to Tolbert on the crossing route. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I thought he did a nice job there setting an edge and make sure nothing could get to the outside. But he decided that wasn't enough for him. Worked his way back inside and made the tackle on the ball carrier.
He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
Play fake. Here's Prescott. And this is going to be incomplete. He was running as hard as one of the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of the story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped him up and passing, you blew coverage. What did you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that answer.
Cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Here's Cousins. And his throw is incomplete.
Perfect example of the kind of attitude you have to play defensive back in the NFL. You want to be the only defender around, and you want them to challenge you. And on that play, he came through.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Cousins from the gun on 3rd. Out route to Jefferson, and he's got it. And he'll get this to the 40, but that's still going to be a few yards short of the 1st down. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
There's another example where defensive coaches constantly preach, not allowing any run after the catch. They gave up a few more yards than they wanted to, but they were able to get him down quickly and force a 4th down.
They'll run for it. Cook. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. At first glance, I actually wasn't sure that he got it, but he ended up getting it by about a full yard.
He certainly did, but it took a little effort, didn't it? Took some nice push, a little crease inside, and some determined running to make sure that he got the 1st down.
3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Getting the ball is Cook running left. And he's got some space here. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 112 yards rushing for him. He has been tremendous all day long.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Again, it's Cook. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
2nd and 9. They'll try to throw now. Cousins. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I'll tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. Cousins to throw it. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. With touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Vikings have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Joseph connects on the extra point.
And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a one-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. It'll be a handoff to Pollard. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive linemen said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs, and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On play action, Prescott. He's got his man. It's Gallup. He is out of bounds inside the 35. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now flags fly in, and one of the Cowboys looked like he got going a little early. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Here's Prescott. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. On 2nd down, Elliott. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. Here's Prescott. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
That was a nice job defensively of disguising their coverage and making it difficult for the quarterback to lock in on a receiver, and it results in an incomplete pass.
So a big one coming now for Brett Maher. This to make it a 2-score game. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this will stay a 1-score game as the lead will hold at 6. That one hurts a bit. That was a golden opportunity to possibly put this one on ice, but he comes up empty.
And how big of a miss might that turn out to be? Stay tuned. There's still time left on the clock. This could be critical.
Still a 1-score game. Had he hit that, it would have been 2 scores. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
It's a gain of a yard. Brings up 3rd down and 2.
Cousins on 3rd and 2. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Mike
Micah Parsons picks up his second sack of the afternoon. I thought there at the end he may have had a chance to release that, but that pocket closed a little too quickly, and down he went.
Yeah, he was certainly trying to do everything he could to extend the life of the play, probably counting in his head 1, 2, and then he ran out of time.
Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Cowboys defense is going to get them the football back. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive.
And he'll be taken down with a first down as they get about 14 out of that one, and we go to the 2-minute warning. 91 yards on the ground here for Pollard. This is a first down.
Play action now. Prescott. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks.
And the Vikings are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield.
So, my goodness, I wouldn't have thought this possible not too long ago, but that turnover there means we have a game again.
It's been a completely different team here in the second half. I just wonder on the other side of the field, where the starters telling the backups, get ready, you're going to get some playing time. And now guess what? Hope they didn't cut the tape off of their wrists and ankles. They've got to go back out there and play.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is caught on the sideline on the feet in. They are. What a catch. A big play there for Minnesota. 45 yards. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Now Cousins. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. They took their shot from the end zone, almost cost him.
And he made the right play there, knocking it away. But, boy, it looked like he had a chance to come down with the football. If he does that, this thing is over. Instead, he leaves him out there with another chance.
Cousins to throw. Throw left side on target to Thielen. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal. Gosh, given the time in the short game, would he have been better off just dropping that?
Yeah, when you look at the clock, you think so. But it's hard to get a receiver to drop a football. They're trained to catch everything.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal.
He forces one there. It's a potential dagger as it's intercepted.
Picked up by Malik Hooker.
And the Cowboys have just about sewn up this football game.
Well, that puts a little bit of a wrinkle in their comeback bid.
Yeah, everything had turned around for them, hadn't it? I mean, things were now going their way. But you did mention it's a wrinkle in their comeback bid. It's not the death knell for them by any stretch, but now they've got some extra work to do in order to climb all the way back.
Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. Here's Pollard again. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. 2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. Now a give here to Pollard. And can you believe it? It's a second safety in this ball game.
Every team has plays in their book to try to buy some room when a safety's on the table. But a big variable is how does each team deal with the pressure of executing in those situations. In this case, they didn't, and they gave up 2 points.
This is taken at the 23, and he'll be out of bounds across the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense
offense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in the second half.
Here's Cousins. He's going to let it fly.
He forces one there. It's a potential dagger as it's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys have just about sewn up this football game.
Keep in mind, he had the 3-interception game last week, so we requested to talk with him this week. He was all smiles. He's still all smile.
Yeah, we didn't jinx him at all, did we? Because ordinarily that happens. Things fall off, but not in this case. I think a lot of it goes back to his technique. His ability to see the quarterback throw the ball while understanding where the receiver is running his route allows him to make a lot of plays on the football, and he's taking it away at a really high rate.
They go back to Pollard on second down.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And it was a bit of a strange second half, but their first half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the first half, you think to yourself, okay, they've got something working here. They know what they're doing. They'll continue that along. But instead, it's goose eggs in the second half. Fortunately, enough of a cushion and enough defense to carry them home.
So for the Cowboys, it's a win they needed, if for nothing else than their sanity, as they move to 4-6. And now they'll have the short week ahead as they'll host their annual Thanksgiving Day game on Thursday. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, add another loss to the pile as they drop to 2-8 now on the year. And they'll try again next week at home against New England.